Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Bot Signal. My name is RJ Redden, and entrepreneurs hire me because sorry, I just was rushing in here. I didn't forget that I just was rushing in here late. So let me start again. My name is RJ Redden, and entrepreneurs hire me to burn down their normal marketing practices that aren't working for them because most have a huge problem getting traction online. So I build messaging that connects, that builds relationships, and closes deals. I use Facebook Messenger to do that, and so can you. And that is why we're here at the Bot Signal today. Welcome, everyone. So sorry about the delay. That was all me. I don't even want to blame it on the technology, darlings. It was me today. So, hello, Lindsay. So nice of you to say. It is the lovely RJ. Teresa's here. Tish is here. We are having a party officially, like right now. So, I want to talk today about making your messenger bot stand out, making people fall in love with your messenger bot, because that is what you want. That is what's going to create the greatest connection. That's going to be the thing that makes it stand out among, the many others. At this point, people are still just discovering this. I am daily still making the basic explanation of what a bot is. Not everybody's caught on to this yet. They will. And when they do, how are you going to stand out among the sea of others who are trying this technology? So I've got 3 ways for you to do that today. Gonna be a great show, so settle in. And very good. So want to talk about the first way that you can make your bot stand out. And that is this. And if you hear nothing else in this broadcast, I want you to hear this. I need you to be aware of the platform you're standing on. I need you to be aware that Messenger is, excuse me, it's a place to have a great conversation that leads to maybe a one-on-one phone call, that leads to a relationship or a transaction or a partnership. That is the place. That is what is Messenger. Messenger is designed to have a conversation. So when you are putting together your chatbot, know this. It must be in the form of a conversation. You know Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, no mustache now. That's a move. You have to ask on Jeopardy. You have to answer the question in the form of a question. If you don't, they buzz you and you don't get whatever it is you were supposed to get. That's how seriously they take that format. That's how seriously we need to take the messenger format, the conversation format. Let's design this in a way that makes the other person in the conversation feel like they have a little control, that makes them feel like they're engaging in a conversation and not just listening to somebody blow their hair back with another sales pitch. You know what I'm saying. Steven's here. Hey. Teresa, I love my bot, but this is what I struggle with. I need to get people into the bot. Well, this is more of a show of what do you do when you have them in there and how do you stand out? Bot promotion, will certainly be having some shows on that in the future, but I wanted to set your expectations correctly, Teresa. This is more of when you've got them in there, once they've crossed that line, how do we make your bot stand out so that every time that icon appears in their messenger inbox, they smile and they think, I wonder what she has to say today. So first point, be aware of the platform that you're standing on. Write things in such a way that the user feels a little control, like they have some say over the conversation that's being had. When you think about it from this perspective and you look at email, that's more of an experience of something is being shoved at you. People are used to ignoring what's in their inboxes. Marketers are used to you ignoring what's in the inboxes. So it's got to be written in the most hooky way possible. I got an email in my inbox today, my darlings. The sender shall remain anonymous. but it was extremely hooky. It was extremely look at me clickbait headline. And when you click through it, of course, it leads to his, because I had to see what was happening on this. I had no intention of following through, but I had to see. It led, of course, to a blog post that you were supposed to read, that explained a situation that this person was in. But it's it's well past time for these tactics to go out the window. It's well past time, and Messenger is the perfect way to do that, to let those methods fade into insignificance. That was some big words today, wasn't it? All right. Anyway, very good. So be aware of the platform you're standing on. Here's how to give people a little bit of extra control over the conversation. I saw this morning, and it blew my mind. I hadn't thought of it earlier. It's just a little menu item. Menu items sit right on top of the bar where people type in Messenger. It's a little menu item that says manage messages. When you press that menu item, it takes you to a place where you can pick which specific kinds of messages you'd like to get or unsubscribe. Take me off all of them. It gives people more control over those messages. It helps people feel like they have some say in the conversation. Email, we don't have a say. The only say we have is to go and click through and unsubscribe. That's the only say that we have. We don't have the ability. We have the ability to reply. Nobody uses it. It's just not something we even think of. It's not something I'm even thinking of when I'm reading an email. I just look at where the links are and if I'm reading the email at all. Email's a lecture. If we're equating this to classroom experiences, email's a lecture and Messenger is a lab experiment. It's where you have that interactivity. It's where as you go through the experiment, the lab experiment, think of a chemistry experiment in high school. As you go through the experiment, you gather data and you learn things and you make decisions based on that knowledge. And you most of the time, it's a predetermined endpoint that you're coming to. You're trying to light this rock on fire and make it glow purple, whatever it is, right? It's a predetermined outcome in that case. But as you go through the experiment, you're gathering information. They're usually, from what I remember in high school, and I assume yours was probably mildly the same, as you go through the experiment, there are certain questions on that sheet to answer. It's not all at the end. It's as you go through what's happening. For me, that's the best example. It's a really great example anyway of what a bot can do. Because for me, as I'm asking people questions in my bot, and I do this all the time, I'm keeping note of how they answer me because I want to make their experience the most valuable it can possibly be. I'm not worried about sending them a quantity of messages over and over and over again so I can stay on top of their mind. I don't care. Here's what I care about. Let's give you some value first. Let's just give you some value first. Let's answer a question that you have. Let's answer, is a bot even right for you? What is a bot? Let's answer some questions first. As people are answering questions, I'm tagging things in the background. I'm collecting this information. And I'm deciding that the next time I want to broadcast about this, maybe I shouldn't broadcast to you because that's something you already know about. Or maybe I need to broadcast to you because I know you'd consider the information valuable. So the conversation part, the lab experiment part, that's where we're asking questions. We are getting answers. We're allowing the person we're having a conversation with to ask questions. That is all open to people. I thought I saw another comment, but I did not. So one rule of thumb to make it conversational is every 2 to 3 text bubbles, throw an image in there, throw a GIF in there, throw something else in there. Spice it up a little bit because, I mean, people are, reading text all day. We don't want to make them feel like they're in school. We want to put something fun in there. If you can make people laugh, you have found a way into their hearts. That's to me, that's not to me, that can sound manipulative in certain circumstances. For me, if I can make people laugh, that's the secret. That is the way forward, because then I know these are people that appreciate my sense of humor. Not everyone does. I know, shocker. These are people who appreciate what I have to say. They're finding value in it. They enjoy my sense of humor. These are my people. Whether that turns into a transaction or not, that's not the point. At that point, when I'm establishing contact with somebody, I want them to know that they have some choices, they have some control over the conversation. And another thing that I think that people forget very, very often, particularly people who are new, who are taking, some email train that they might have written quite some time ago, and then transforming that into a bot experience. What people forget is that every 3 to 4 text, image, whatever you have in there, you need to include a button press on a, as the answer to a question, or you need to add an open-ended question there. Why is that? Because when I'm sitting across from you at a party talking, I've got input into the conversation. At times, the conversation waits until I have an answer to give it. So in order for Messenger to do its job, in order for Messenger to really connect you to people and build relationships, you've got to make it have a conversation. You've got to give it those points where we're waiting for something from the user. Now, I get some feedback about this occasionally. RJ, they were supposed to press a button and they didn't, and the bot stopped. What do I do now? Well, for whatever reason, either they needed to walk away, maybe a squirrel walked across the room, maybe a tiny child needed food. For whatever reason, they needed to put the bot down at that moment. That's okay. We need to just let it go and let people be distracted, because it's the way of the world. Send them a message tomorrow. It's not the last day that you can ever send this person a message. So really, making your bot outstanding is making it a conversation and not a lecture. Make it be something that it gives people an experience. It helps them walk through gaining some knowledge, pressing some buttons, answering questions, engaging with you. When people invest in that way, then it's a heck of a lot easier to have a relationship and get some follow-up with that. If people are just basically being passive throughout the entire conversation, they're a lot less likely to engage tomorrow. If you think about, and I think about this a lot, I think about video games in relation to everything. The video game industry, it's not a mistake that it's $1 billion industry. It's not a mistake. It engages people on a level that almost defies belief. Have you ever sat in front of a game and lost time when you knew you had better things to do? Have you ever watched someone do that? If you haven't done that yourself, you've probably certainly watched somebody do that, particularly if you have small people, because the small people really like the games. That theory of gamification, that little hit every time somebody levels up in a game or gets something that they've been looking for or learns a valuable piece of information, that little adrenaline hit is what keeps them going in the game. And so taking that kind of behavior and putting it in the structure of a messenger bot. Do people in your bot have the opportunity to level up every once in a while? Do they have opportunity to explore and discover new information that can be valuable. You see, it's not all about me telling you what I have on sale. That is the worst approach. Please do not take that approach. Please don't. You'll just be better off if you don't. What it's about is how deeply can I connect with you? How much can I find out what it is you need? And can I provide that to you? Is that something that maybe lots of people might enjoy? And can I do it in a way that gives you a little bit of joy today? Just a little bit. I'm not looking to, light up your life. I mean, it would not be possible for me to do that. But if I can give you a little bit of joy today, then when you see my message, my name come up, Black Belt Bots come up in your messenger tomorrow, then it'll be exciting for you rather than, ugh, again, really? So, Jen Vasquez and Stacy McBee Bryuga are here. Now we're having a great time. Hello, ladies. I'm so happy to hear from you today. So, talking about 3 ways to get people to fall in love with your bot, 3 ways to make it outstanding and like no one else's. Because, here's the thing, and this is a problem for all of us, and maybe it's not a problem at all. As people discover bots, as people start trying them out, now instead of being like the novelty of, how is this person's business page talking to me right now? What is happening? People aren't going to stay there forever. Hey, email was new once, yo. So at some point, when that novelty wears off, when people have been through this process enough times that they become a little bit bored with it, it's best if you can stand out. It's best if your bot experience is so superior that it doesn't matter how many other bots they're subscribed to or not subscribed to. So that's what we're talking about today. The first part, make sure that you know and are aware of the platform you are standing on, which is Messenger. Make sure you are making it into a conversational format. If you are not, you are missing out. You are. Number 2, and this is where I excel. Give your bot a personality, please. Please do this. Please do not be a run-of-the-mill, general, vague conversation. Please do not be salesy. Salesy in a bot really goes over with a resounding thud. And here's why. Because people are used to going to a bot to talk to their family and friends and people they love and people they want to make plans with, look forward to talking to. No one ever comes to Messenger looking to buy something. It's just not done. It's just not done. So when you are creating and crafting your bot, maybe you're just in the beginning imagination stages with it. Maybe you've had it for a while. But here's what I want you to do. Think about giving your bot a life and a personality. This goes over super well with people. It just does, because it is entertaining. It opens up that laughter factor that I was talking about earlier. It helps people relate. They know they're talking to a bot. They know they're not talking to a person. You've set their expectations correctly, hopefully, in any way. At any rate, I do teach that in my class, if you're not familiar. But it has a personality. It has a life. It's doing things outside of when it's, when the chatbot is talking to you. Best way to do this, of course, is to get some graphics and get a little, pick something that really relates to what you've got going on there. That is absolutely the best way to do that. Brad Friedman is here. Hello. Personality, please. Oh, man. You just don't even know the number of chatbots that I've read that are bland bodiness. Kids, we need to erase that from the face of the earth. Either they're bland or they pretend to be a human being. Let's not ever pretend to be a human being. Here's the problem. If you pretend to be a human being, then people's expectations are super heightened that they're talking to an actual human being, and they'll type something in and wait for an answer and not get one right away and be like, what's happening here? I'm confused. People still don't know what a bot is. Sometimes they're still not even aware that they're in one when they're having a conversation. So you want to absolutely upfront say, hey, I'm a chatbot and I was created by Jen Vasquez because I want to help you, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? You want to make that an experience. If they know they're talking to a chatbot, they'll automatically adjust those expectations to, okay, I can get certain questions answered in here. There's not actually a human talking to me, so I need to filter my words a little bit more carefully. That is all to the good, because then your chatbot can perform according to those expectations. If they think they're talking to a human, they're going to have really grand expectations, and your bot is going to fail those. So do make sure that they know it's a chatbot, but also personality, baby. Are they sassy? Are they a little bit on the crass side? Are they on the sarcastic side? Are they on the bumble around funny side? Is it a serious bot? Serious bots with personality can absolutely be done. Let's see, Liesel says, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you. Is it possible to have a different icon on my messenger bot from the one I have on my business page? Oh, I'm so sorry to tell you. Nah, can't do it. That's dictated by Facebook and Messenger. That's the handoff between them, that your icon is whatever it is for that page. Yeah, you want to have a cartoon for the bot. Absolutely. And I get it because it's pretty awesome. I'm lucky that my branding fits in with ninjas. So I can have that as the identifier for my page, and then nobody gets confused. So yeah, I mean, that one I'd have to go into a little bit more depth with you about, because there, as far as I know, there's absolutely no way to get your icon to show up differently in Facebook Messenger than whatever is the icon for your Facebook page. Okay, very good. Ways to give personality to your bots. There is a 30-day challenge that I'm currently helping some people run. It's all about keto and the keto diet. And we've chosen as the icon for this particular challenge because there are two people that are the leaders of this group that are running this challenge. So we didn't want to base it on either of their personalities. So we chose Rowan the robot, the keto bot, we call him. And Rowan the keto bot is a little bit of a troublemaker. Inside this chatbot, he'll come by every day and give us another lesson in keto or encourage us to share on Facebook or whatever he does. But he also kind of pokes fun at the guys who are running the challenge a little bit. And people eat that stuff up. People love it, entertaining people a little bit. If you can entertain while you're educating, you're going to have a lot more success with people remembering what you have to say. Listen, boring people with your bot is just about the worst thing you could do. Selling people without a relationship is the worst thing you can do in a bot. The second worst thing you can do is bore people. Lisa says, my cartoon has a nice personality. I'll bet you it does. I will bet you it does. Stacy says, so the fix would be that your bot is also your profile pic for the page with the bot. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And you can do that. It depends on your brand, and it depends on the page in question. Some people just use their own face. They just use their face just like they do on their Facebook personal profiles. They'll put that also on the icon for the profile of the business. And so that also tends to work a little bit if the cartoon that you choose isn't in line necessarily with your branding. So that's another way to think about it. Fantastic. So give your bot a life, give your bot a personality. Questions to think about. What's your bot doing outside of talking to these people? What sort of grand plans does your bot have going on? You can be as silly as you want with this. You can be as creative as you want with this. But having something talking back and forth to people that has a personality is so much better than reading a bunch of bland copy that was maybe copied from your website. Please don't do this, people. Giving your bot some visual images is important. I use Bitmoji. Warning. Bitmoji does say right in their terms of service that you can't use their stuff to promote something. So I'm still using Bitmoji. It's because I don't sell anything in my bot, and so I feel safe for that. But graphicmama.com, that's a place where you pay a little bit. I think I paid $30 for Spinning Dragon, and I got like 114 poses of my little ninja in her little blue zip-up suit. Fantastic deal, and you can use those anywhere. Print, digital, doesn't matter. You can use it everywhere except for inside a trademarked logo. That's the only stipulation that they have on that. So you can use either of those things. Both are really good choices for you, and both of them have a lot of choices. You can even, if you find something on Graphic Mama that you like and you want to put your own face on it, you can do that too. Brad Friedman did that. Go check out the Brad bot. And you'll be able to see what he did there. What was that site? Let's do this. .com. Okay, we're going to show that. I don't get affiliate linkage for doing this. I just want you to know where the best stuff is, so you can go and hunt that down. That's where you can Graphic Mama. That's where I got Spinning Dragon, and that's also where you can pay a little bit extra and get a specific face or a specific color put onto a drawing. So hopefully that helps. So give your bot a personality. That's my second big bullet point. Give it a personality, do that thing. If you need to see examples, I have used people's dogs as personalities for their chatbots. Hello, Jay Fizette. I see you out there. I have used people's own personalities and their own brands. A lot of the people that I work with, coaches, authors, solopreneurs, speakers, a lot of folks, their personality is their brand. So it's easy for me then to transform that into, okay, what would that sound like in a bot? The personality is something that you can work at over time to perfect. You do not have to have the world's greatest personality experience in your bot day one. When you're building, build with an eye toward adding flavor where you can. Don't make this a bland, Subway sandwich that you found at the grocery store that was the last one left. You know what I'm saying? Give it some flavor, baby. And if you are building something and you are the personality for your bot, then nobody knows you better than you, and nobody's going to do a better job than you. So kudos. All right. So on to the third thing here. Yeah, Stacy says there's a post coming out tomorrow about me. Well, I'll be interested to see that. Very good. So, last thing, and this thing is, it's odd to say when it's connected with marketing, but let me tell you, it's really one of the big secrets. One of the big secrets of making that bot outstanding, making people absolutely fall in love with it, And it's so basic, right? But I got to tell you, and most of my clients have this down without me telling them, honestly. You got to care about the experience people are having. You got to do it. I've told stories before, nightmare horror stories, right? Well, maybe not nightmare horror. Maybe that's a little exaggerated. I do that sometimes. But it's important to know that if you spend a bunch of time and or money designing a bot, and you've got all of the stuff in there at all the right times and everything's set to go, and somebody writes you back a question and you don't ever answer it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It won't make a difference to you, because that person is going to be like, they don't care about me. I'm done. People are so much more willing to walk away from a business that they, maybe wanted to do business with or have done business with in the past. If they get irked, they're gone, because there's 70 other on the internet, 70 other businesses on the internet. There's always someone we are very easily replaceable these days. And so what you want to do is you want to care about the experience that they're having. You want to care whether they get their questions answered. You want to care whether they're getting all the resources that they were supposed to get in the bot. You absolutely want to care about this. If you don't, if you're one of those that wants to set it and forget it, I do recommend A, that you don't do that. B, that I'm not the right teacher for you, because I'm always going to be, let's spend more time looking at what's going on. Let's analyze, what the stats are telling us. Let's look at how people are responding. Let's look at where people maybe are dropping off. That stuff is huge. Looking at where people are dropping off. There was just another little example. I was talking to a client last night. We did a 14-day basically it was a training for everybody on this person's team. And she had noticed that there was a huge drop off between days 8 and 9. Seemed like everybody was picking up 8, nobody's picking up 9. So we adjusted. We put a day of rest in there. Just a little day of rest. We're not gonna broadcast on day 9. We're gonna push it all a day and make it a 15-day training instead of a 14-day. Work like magic. Work like magic. Because my client, as they most always are people who care about the experience of the people going through. This isn't set this and forget it. Mark this checkbox and you'll be done with this area of your life. I used to work with marketing like that. It didn't make me happy. This makes me happy. Because it's such an adventure and an experiment. Jen, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. So those are the 3 elements that will really make people fall in love with your bot, make your bot stand out among everybody else's. There are other elements too, but those are the 3 that I think that really get you on the road to some success with that bot. Bots need care and feeding just like everything else. And being willing to do that care and feeding and to care about people's experience as they go through the bot. If you care about it, you're going to make a lot of different choices than someone who's just trying to sell some t-shirts. So, who has questions for their RJ? If you do, boop, right in the box below is a great place to put those. If you're seeing me on any other page than the Black Belt Bots page, you may want to come over to Black Belt Bots, just because that's where I can see your questions. Throw your questions in there so that I can answer them. Or you can tell me if there's a situation in which if there's a way that I didn't mention that you're making your bot stand out. I'd love to hear it. Because this is the situation I think that we're going to be facing in the next few years as people get a hold of these. And to me, it's not really a problem at all. You know, if you start now or now-ish, you don't have to start today. But if you start now developing your bot and developing relationships with people, by the time all those other bots get around to showing up and sounding like people's email for the first 3 months, you're going to have that relationship down with people. And that's what we really want to do. We want to build relationships. That's the cornerstone of where it all starts. If I can't build a relationship with you, I better not be building your bot. If I can't build a relationship with you, I don't know if I don't know if buying my class is going to be right for your business. You know what I'm saying? So building that relationship first, letting people have a conversation in which they actually interact, giving them a little bit of entertainment and personality of your bot, and caring about their experience every step of the way. You do those things, you are going to have an outstanding piece of work on your hands that is going to be more than worth your time and your money. So, gosh, I can't believe that this week kind of flew by, everybody. I don't know what happened, but we're on Thursday afternoon all of a sudden. And it's been a great week here at the Bot Cave. New people coming in, new clients coming in. Stuff is happening all the time. As you may know, I'm releasing a class here upcoming that folks can take. It is going to be the ultimate hand-holding experience while building your messenger bot. I am really excited about that. And I want to tell people too, if you haven't joined the Ditch Your Elevator Pitch Challenge yet, this is something that a dear friend of mine is putting on. And I think that it's valuable for just about everybody I know. That's why I'm talking about it over and over and over again. This is a challenge in which you will develop the first 17.5 seconds. If you could have that, making a first impression, you don't get a second chance. What if you had something that you could say in the first 17.5 seconds that was super clear and super confident and establishes you as the authority on whatever subject you teach or coach about or write about or speak about? What if, my friends? I know that I've struggled with that a lot of times. I have struggled in the past because I do something that's highly technical and most people don't know what it means. I've struggled in the past because before I did bots, I was a technology generalist who basically did everything. And so when you asked me, it would be like, I don't know, I do everything. Which tells people nothing. And so my introduction was hurting me for a very, very long time. It really throws a wrench in the relationship if you don't have something good to say. And I think that we all know that. It's just, I'm so close to my business. This stuff is close to my heart. I go to sleep thinking about bots. You know that I do. But I'm so close that it's hard for me to pull out 30,000 feet and overview it and connect what I do to what people need. It's hard because I'm this close. So I went to see somebody. She's an amazing professional, teaches people how to speak. And she has a thing called an intromercial. And you get to introduce yourself in that first few seconds with clarity, with confidence, and establish you as an authority. I went to a 3-day thing in Phoenix. You don't have to do that because she's running a challenge right now. And this challenge, it starts on, you can join it right now. I will give you a link in the description. You can learn how to do this. It's a 5-day challenge. There's a little bit of homework each day. And if you play all out, if you do the things that it asks you to do, this challenge, you will have an intro like I have an intro. And this intro has changed my first impressions with people. It has changed my business. So if you don't have an intro, join me in this challenge because you know you're going to love it. It's a whole lot of fun and the bot is magnificent. Why? Because I wrote it. Anyway, come do join us in this challenge if you want to. Begins February 25th. You can sign up right now and start getting some messages about it. And I hope you do join us. It's all free and it's going to be super fun. So, darlings, that's all I know for today, Thursday, February 14th. If you've got someone to snuggle up to tonight, snuggle up to them. If you don't, I was there many, many years on Singleness Awareness Day, and it was a slog at times. So I'm with you. I understand. And Stephen Healy's in the challenge as well. Yeah. If Stephen Healy joins, then you've got to join because it's really a rock star party. So my best wishes to all of you on Valentine's Day, whether you have somebody to snuggle up to or not. Just best wishes for a wonderful day. Next week we'll be back. I might even have Jane on the show if she's willing and able to join me to talk a little bit about that challenge, because I feel so strongly that it will give my friends, my family, my tribe some value. So very good, darlings. I'll be back next week. Same bot time, same bot channel. It will be Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And in other words, I'll see you in a bot. Bye-bye now.